Yo. So, most days I struggle to find out, what to talk about. Because I'm just out of shape when talking, but I'll get back into it. So, on the screen is wonderful deal with Bitbase. All kinds of bonuses, magic numbers on the screen. 33, you know what I'm saying? 33, 500 for the extra, you feel me? It's for anybody into using exchanges, poop coining, any of that type of stuff, trading, all these types of things. Discord is open for the traders. Discord is open for the friends. That's just a little thing that I'm gonna continue to focus on. Like at a certain point in your career, like someone, he just popped a question to me the other day, and I'm already off the topic I started this video for, but just bear with me. I feel like there was a certain point where someone I was really cool with, we kind of, our paths deviated, And there was a window in time where I could have continued that path, along that path, and I didn't. And as he went his way and I went my way, which was like the crypto way, whatever the fuck that means now, excuse my language. I think that means, the hopium route. And someone posed a question to me the other day in a room. And he was like, yo, why do you hang out with people dumber than you? And I said, man, you're so right. I said, my response was to hopefully inspire them to be smarter. But as the day went on, and I continued to see the pointless conversations ensue in the hopium merry-go-round that is called crypto, cycle, hopium, rinse, repeat, cycle, hopium, rinse, repeat, cycle, hopium, never buying the bottom, never selling the top, all that shit is out. You missed the parabolic phase of Bitcoin. A lot of things don't seem like they're going to give you the returns that we once were so excited about in crypto. And then a lot of these guys that were present when this question was asked, they're actually dumb. And that's not their fault. They're led astray, like the blind leading the blind. The OGs among us who are already where most of those guys think they want to be, right? Myself included, you're led astray by these individuals who'll continue to lead you down a path of hopium. Like, you get lucky, you strike lightning in a bottle, you strike, you strike oil in the backyard. We'll call it a spell coin, because why name it, right? We all know what it is. You're starstruck, you get massive gains, now you're locked in, and you think you got it made in the shade, and that is the cycle of hopium. You weren't all in on that. You didn't make life-changing money on that. A handful of people. I don't know why I'm so tongue twisted. A handful of people made some significant life-changing money. And I wouldn't call it life-changing, just comfort money, right? Where their life is maybe different. It's changed, but they're still on the edge because they're still on the hunt, You can tell who they are. They're more relaxed than the average gentleman. Maybe into more hobbies and putting that shit online for everyone to see. So they're comfortable and they think they're smart. And they are, because they made the right moves. They bagged enough money. And so they're in their minds, that God bless, and I'm happy for them. But the average person, typically in a room like that, is not. That's why they're there, myself included, right? And I realized as the day went on and the next day came, that people were engaged in the same dumb shit we've done for 2 cycles now. And what I'm saying is, everybody gets lucky once in a while. You do the right thing. And then that same blind exuberance is what helps you, and maybe not you in particular, but like the people that you see in rooms like that, throw all caution to the wind and going on the next thing because the first thing was so dope. And then poof, it's gone, you know, back to square one. Crypto's over, you know. Where you at? Worse off than when you started, somehow. Imagine that, right? The economy's worse. You have less money to put in crypto than you did 2 cycles ago when all the gains were there to be made with almost no money. Now you have little to almost no money, and there's nothing to get into, bro. It's all jokes. I'm sorry, did you get a Popcat early? No, you didn't. Did you get no, I'm sorry, it's not Popcat, it's Cash Cat, I think, for Robinhood, maybe? I think. Did you get in on that? Did you put in 80 grand? Because you had 80 grand to put in a fucking meme coin? No, you didn't do that and then turn it into $1 million and cash out, even though there was millions more on the table. But you just like, you know what, enough's enough. And you bagged up a 10x or more than 10x, and you're like, yo, with 80 grand, see? That's how crypto is now. Go ahead and buy a meme coin if you want to and see what happens. You're probably gonna lose your money. Or lose some money. Not all of it, some of it. You'll keep chasing. Hopefully you hit the lottery. God bless. I truly, if anyone wishes you well, it's me. Okay? I ain't no hater, bro. But I realized for years I had tried to help these individuals understand something that they couldn't see. And that's fine. See, like most people would say because that spell coin went up that I was wrong. Nah, my man's was who we thought he was, right? It just took a little while for people to see it. In fact, I just saw a tweet from Giga the Minter who's like, yo, that dude, Ricky, man, he is a fucking loser, piece of whatever. It took me years to figure this out. You're right. And the harder you got sucked into that first spell, the harder it was to see and the longer it took you. I knew something was up, no time flat. Not only that, so I missed the run up and then, oh, you were wrong, bro. Okay. But see, that was an engineered outcome. So I wasn't wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's like when the hustler downtown and any of these hoods up north where I'm from, they come to you, they always got games to play. The 3-card Monty, you see what I'm saying? Where they engineer a result to give you the confidence to go ahead and go all in. You know what I'm saying? Let you win a few times, a couple of odds, nothing, just a little something to, you know, gain your confidence. And now you think you got it all figured out. And you go all in, and the end it's gone. You know what I'm saying? And that's the hustle. It's a hustler. You know, you can lay down, bro. Play a hater, lay down. You've been robbed. You know, and fair play. You know, I played 3-card Monty. I've learned that lesson as a teenager. Okay, so you know, you can fall for these things. The average person will, but you need to apply your understanding and your historical understanding of how some things go, and you can come to conclusions faster than the average person. Just take your emotions out of it and think objectively. How do you think I was able to sell at a profit? You know, well, it's not about what you can make or what you didn't make. It's about making sure you didn't lose. It's the same concept with trading. And by the way, on the screen, mega new user bonus. God bless. You don't have to trade. It's great for spot. You can make a lot of money, a lot of deposit bonuses and all this nonsense because you all love crypto so much, right? You can get a lot of crap coins. You can withdraw them. You can do a spot because you don't have to trade at all. You know what I'm saying? You love Bitcoin so much, go ahead and deposit there, grab you some Bitcoin, get you some free bonuses, and buy you some free Bitcoin. God bless. I just saw a guy in this room too, by the way. He was saying, you know, you could get X amount of dollars just for signing up, but nah, this is way better. You could just, it's like hundreds and thousands of dollars of just free money sitting there. So cool. And then you can use it to do what you need to do with it. So God bless, right? In these rooms, though, the question remained, why do I want to hang around with people dumber than me? And it's like, I don't really want to hang around with the people who are dumber with me. I'm actually just supporting my homie. But he fell on this period because one of them got out of line and got put in their fucking place. And then a bunch of them, because they're little girls, they decide to like love each other and think that they would, you know, it's like a bunch of roaring kittens. And I had to put them all in their place. And naturally, because he needs these people to like his thing, he's jumping to conclusions and hopping in and chiming in. So it's like, yeah, you know what? These dumb motherfuckers, these the same dumb motherfuckers that have got everybody to not just sacrifice the pulse chain and never sell, but the fucking DCA the whole way down. When I was saying, like, you know, it's like, you how dare you? How dare you ask me this question? Every time I told them niggas, when Hex was fucking 25, 27, 28, 29 cent, like, bro, that shit's going to zero, dog. Yo, nigga, you funny, bro. Mans would go live and say how he was buying. It's 12 cents. Yeah, I'm buying some more here. That guy's saint, he's always fudding. Yeah, that means get bullish. 9 cent, another video, another live stream at that. Make sure to shout me out and let everyone know how wrong I am that the shit's going to zero. Hey man, you love that shit? This is pre fucking post chain launch. Hey man, and I made a video every fucking day. If you love that shit, sell it. All the way down from 15 to 12 to 10 to 9 to 7 to 8 to 6 to 5 to 4 to 3, where Grav bought his 100th local bottom. All these people dumber than me. And all I keep doing is trying to tell them, I'm screaming from the rooftops, hey bro, you know what I'm saying? No. And it's like, you know what? And then along came Zen, and I rightfully predict its future. Do I get credit for this? Do people shut the fuck up when a real nigga's talking and listen? No, they just hate. They're just mad I was correct. In hindsight, and I would have saved them a bunch of money if they would get the fuck out their feelings and just think objectively. Is it because I said it? But no, if the person who asked me, who capitulated fashionably late, you know what I'm saying? Very emotional outburst towards Ricky Smart on live because he wouldn't co-sign Zen. Shockingly, you know? I don't know, man. Why would I want to hang out? Because I like to see people do better. I'm not perfect, man. I'm human. Why are you mad at me? Because I was right after being so wrong? But I've been more right than wrong. So, like, I'm net positive, not net negative. How many niggas DCA'd in the hopium? And quite frankly, I'm sick of watching this shit happen. And then have these same people who made these fucking grave errors and mistakes speak to me as if they're more intelligent than me. Or as if they can speak down to me. Like your daddy, bro. Like, chill out, man. I'm looking out for you like a unk. Right? I mean, you know, I give a shit about the homie. That's why I speak and say things at certain times. But I give respect too. But I don't tolerate disrespect from nobody. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, don't get in your feelings because I'm not finna put up with a bunch of dumb niggas talking dumb shit. Because these people can't lead me. My veins are older than theirs. Everything they're bleeding, I bled, right? I got a lot more wisdom and understanding in me than most of them will have in 2 more bull markets. And that's okay. Like, it's not something to brag about. It's just experience. It's the benefit. Like, if you did some trade and you were an apprentice, are you going to talk shit to the person who's teaching you to trade? No. Are you going to resent him for being more knowledgeable than you? Or are you going to shut the fuck up when a real nigga's talking and learn your fucking job so you can be better and get paid more and become a master tradesman at whatever the fuck you're doing, whatever trade it is. Carpenter, plumber, electrician, whatever. You know, we can keep going. But I thought to myself, yeah, man, I shouldn't be around these people. Because I just realized that, like, for the first time ever since he brought it up to me, I thought to myself, like, you know what? I shouldn't care about that shit. You know? Why am I around these people? They ain't doing shit for me. All I'm doing is wasting my breath, stopping them from throwing their money away, or failing to, because they're too hard-headed, or whatever the fucking reason is. I don't care. You know? At the end of the day, if I was on my ass, they wouldn't give a fuck about me. They'll celebrate it. Why am I around these people? See what I'm saying? And I start, let me trim the fat and come over here to the left, where I'm going in the direction of that friend I was talking about, that we kind of parted ways. And the reality he's experiencing is night and day from anyone in that place. That place is hell. Nothing but weeping and gnashing of teeth. Singing Kumbaya, hoping Ricky come around. Singing Kumbaya, hoping Jacob comes around. He's a demon. Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, I ain't finna get along with no demons, bro. So on the topic of demons, I had this discussion with my kids today. Treat the people consumed by demons with care. That don't mean the things they say. The demon sometimes possesses them. And I've had an experience with one just recently. Now he can't talk to me anymore. Because where am I? In heaven. And quite frankly, just by the nature of how things are, demons can't reside in heaven. Met an angel today. See, there's people, you're human beings, right? And you can make yourself a willing vessel to be a great human being, right? Like some people, they just have it in them to be great human beings. And you never know. Some people, they could be praying, bro. Like real shit. They could be sitting there praying, bro, for whatever reason. Whatever their problem, trouble, plight is, they could be praying, bro. And any human being on the planet can become a willing vessel and allow an angel or a spirit of the Lord to come into them and become the answer to that prayer. Like if a person was about to die, for instance, oh God, send help, please. Sometimes that's a police officer. If you're in a burning building, sometimes that's a firefighter. I can go on and on and on. If you're down bad and you're going through some shit, sometimes it's a friend. Continue to make yourself willing to be a vessel for good. Because the opposite of that is, you ever realize that liquor stores, some people consume strong drink. And I had the sweeping suspicion that the last time I spoke to someone I considered a really good friend, that at least professed it to me many times, right, was consuming strong drink. And unfortunately, the discussion went left. And the last thing he said to me led me to understand that he's clearly not in his right mind, because that doesn't make sense, considering all the words that were exchanged. And I said, damn, you know what? My man's just probably drinking. I don't think he's processing right. I don't think he's processing right. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to heaven. And I'm going to realize that he's possessed by a demon right now who would like nothing more than to ruin us permanently. So I'm going to just stop him from being able to talk, because he might accidentally on purpose provoke me into saying something that I can't take back. The demon is saying things through him that he can't take back, but he doesn't understand. So when you go to a liquor store, you ever notice they're called wine and spirits, right? You know, wine is in the Bible. You know, it's also in the Bible there's a strong warning to not consume strong drink. Refrain from consuming strong drink. Why? Because it weakens your will to resist a demon possessing you and using you for its will, not the other way around. You don't exercise the will over your body, your mind, your mouth, and what comes out of it, and your tongue, or your fingers in some cases. See what I'm saying? Because I said, man, I'm not really recognizing this person right now. Something's wrong. But on the store it says wine and spirits. And wine is like eat, drink, and be merry. Okay? What is merry? Merry is happiness. So if you drink some wine and you consume it in moderation, you will be merry. You will have fellowship with your family, friends, random acquaintances, and it'll always be merry because you can celebrate as a form of habit and always be merry to those you encounter. Okay? But sometimes get a little reckless and consume strong drink. And then unfortunately, in the equal opposite example of someone praying, and for whatever reason, their plight, their problem, their sorrow may or may not be, right? The equal opposite of that is, instead of an angel consuming a human body and giving them strength to be the answer to someone's prayer, a demon will destroy that person's purpose. Sometimes they don't even know it. And the demon would like nothing more than to ruin a relationship or have a friend lash out at a friend and vice versa. You see? And so in that room I was talking about, I realized my friend, he's consumed by a demon. Demon is called greed, lust, whatever. After what? Success, popularity, gain or increase, notoriety, pride, the 7 deadly sins, huh? I can name them all, but I probably will fuck them up. But you get where I'm going. There's some demon there. And that's the only way we have words that are callous. Maybe I'm confused, except I know I'm elder and I'm wise enough to know I'm not confused. So when someone looks to make another human being suffer, it is because they are suffering. And many times you might find that strong drink makes the human body that is otherwise strong, the human mind which is otherwise strong, which is controlled by the spirit that's inside of you, that is otherwise strong, that would normally choose to be a vessel for an angel, otherwise is weak enough to be consumed by a demon, and the will and work of a demon be exported through that person's hands, minds, mouth, whatever. You see what I'm saying? And so it's important to recognize when you see someone, if someone makes someone else suffer or allows others to suffer, it's because they themselves are suffering, and you need to take that in consideration. Everybody seems to be missing this. And like I said, I had this discussion with my kids today. Because, we have our ups and downs. We have our good days and bad days. I have 2 girls that are like right next to each other. And boy, 99.999% of the time, they beef. And so I had to explain to my younger one, because she's just off the hook. She's slight-tempered like her daddy. And she just don't like being bossed by her older sister. They're just hell-bent on each other, making each other miserable. And so I had to explain to her not to allow herself to be always in a bad mood, or, if she's not careful, she'll let a bad spirit into her that will allow her to hurt her sister's feelings. And I told her to be on guard about that stuff. And you too, friends. Be careful to do all you can do, because today I met an angel, someone who was very kind and recorded no wrongs. And I'm sure if he searched deep enough, he'd find a reason. to allow a demon to work its magic and its will through him. But he chose God. And he became whoever he needed to be for me in that moment. Sometimes it's a word, sometimes it's a little more. Sometimes words are okay, but sometimes what's required is more than a word. But everybody picks and chooses their moments. Just be sure to keep in mind to keep that good spirit in you. That person even asked me, he reminded me, man, I ain't been church in a while. You're right. See, that part of me was gone. But you see, I died again. I told you, Saint is gone. He dead, bro. Okay? That person that's into crypto and hopium and all that extra shit, he's dead, bro. He doesn't give a shit about scams. Focus, nigga, on the right shit. That's a waste of energy. It's a thankless job. And you ain't gonna learn until you get burned enough, like me. I went through it. You live, you learn a little bit. It'll make you all the more wise. Just like, see, I got the 3-card money. I can see Ricky. I was caught on the pulse chain. Oh, shit. Pulse chain and pulse X? So this is the one, huh? Nah, not really. But that first one. I said I wasn't gonna make videos this long again, but I think everybody gets the point. I hope this message hit you well. And I hope if you're lucky enough to listen to it, I hope it finds you well. I hope it raises your spirit. And I hope you can see that it's time for a new direction. I don't say that crypto's over because you shouldn't have any or you shouldn't participate. But what I'm saying is you're not going to hodl your way to being rich anymore. It's not going to happen. You're going to come up, but you don't have enough. Like I said, you don't have 80 grand to put into Bitcoin, do you? Do you even have enough for one right now? Think about that. Do you even have enough for one? So how in the fuck are you going to make life-changing money because it doubled in 4 years? What the fuck is, like, see, this is a terrible mentality. But there's ways for you to come up. You're going to have to apply yourself as much as you did to crypto and dodging scams and all this other stuff. You got to do all that research. Why don't you teach yourself something? And then you don't have to. I don't really give a shit. You could be hard-headed like me 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. This could have been us, but we playing. My homie kept telling me, hey man, he kept looking for me, hey man. But you can only lead somebody to water, you can't make them drink. So he came and he went, and he came and he went, but he kept appearing over the years, and God bless. You see, all things work for the right reasons. You see what I'm saying? Good and bad. They all go, like, all this stuff matters. Even me, as someone you know, we've been in the hopium game. No. Now you see directions, switch, move, go to another direction. You need to get enough money. You're not gonna get it by fucking staring at nothing, bro. I'm just saying it's not gonna happen. The guy that was, dumber than me, he was saying how he had a couple $100 grand, and I'm like, cool. Like, that's gonna be like almost a couple hundred more than that, maybe in 2 more years, right? Like, crypto will go up again, maybe even 3 times as much, right? Maybe even a little more if he has the right altcoins. Or maybe he just round trips the shit. Or maybe he loses it. I'm not wishing him any wrong. I hope he comes up. God bless. But there'll always be somebody to convince him into the next hopium game. Don't go all in. You know what I'm saying? It's all a joke anyway, you know? And I said I wouldn't make videos this long, so I'm gonna end this. I don't know how the fuck it ended, began this long, but either way, like I said, on the screen, man, GG. The code and the link will be in the description, bro. Or in the pinned comment, you feel me? So I'll be back with another one, man. I'm out.